and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen. We are going to make a caffeinated eye cream. I will actually use it on my whole face, but specifically I wanted to make it gentle enough to use in the delicate skin around your eye, because that is a very sensitive area for a lot of people, especially as you get older. Like me in my late 50s, it can get kind of crepey and I get the smile lines, you know, the whole 9 yards. So eye cream, that's what we're doing today. And for the caffeine part of this lotion today, or cream, I'm going to be using this caffeine extract. I got this from Wholesale Supplies Plus. They had it on sale. I've been wanting to get it for a while, and it went on sale, so I grabbed a little bottle, and we'll be using a small percentage of this in there. And caffeine has some really amazing skin benefits topically, so we'll talk more about that once we get into the cream making portion. And for the fragrance today, I am going to use a little lavender essential oil. I got this on Amazon, and I will leave a link down below. It's a nice essential oil. Lavender is very gentle, very calming. And there are several other essential oils that can be recommended or have uses in the eye region. And I'll let you do your research on that. You could use a fragrance oil, or you could leave this unscented. This caffeine extract does not have an odor to it. And if you use refined, or you like the buttery scent of the butters that we're going to be using in the lotion today, unscented is perfect in this formula also. So I will leave the full recipe in the description box down below. Hopefully you'll give it a try and let me know how you like this formula. But I've got to get everything pulled together, and let's come back and make some caffeinated eye cream. All right, we are back to make our eye cream. I have my whole work surface sanitized, all the equipment I'm going to be using. That's really important, especially if you're going to be marketing your creams and lotions. Sanitation, keeping everything just really clean is a must. So I have my double boiler set up here. It's just a single hot plate with a saucepan and some water, super low tech, but I have that heating up there because we're going to need to do our melt our hard butters and our oils all together for our heated oil phase. So let's get those measured out right now. One of the things I love about lotion recipes and things is they're so easy to customize. So what I'm going to do here is tell you what I'm putting in here, but you could tweak this to your preferences. So today we need 14 grams of liquid oils. And so the liquid oils I'm going to be using is a combination of walnut oil, olive oil, and rosehip seed oil, because I am making this for me, and those are the things that I like. Walnut oil has anti-aging properties and the skin. Rosehip seed oil is really good for aging skin, wrinkles, things like that. Olive oil, super good. So you can use whatever liquid oils you like, but you need 14 grams for today's size recipe. I will have the recipe I'm doing today written down below, as well as have this in percentage form, so you can make this smaller or bigger. If you know, you can size this to fit your needs. I'm gonna add a little bit of each till I hit my 14 grams. Super not specific. I'm just making this for myself. All right, so I've got 8 grams or 9 grams of the walnut oil. I'll come in with my olive oil. And now the rosehip seed oil. The next thing we need in our oil phase is butters. You can use whatever butter you like: cocoa butter, shea butter, kokum butter, so many. Today I'm using mango butter, and you could do a combination of any of the above, but today I'm going to do mango butter straight up. So I need 12 grams of mango butter. Okay, and the last ingredient in our heated oil phase is emulsifying wax. Today I'm using the Soft and Silky from Be Scented. Any emulsifying wax will do. So you get the one you prefer. This is the one we're using today, and I need 6 grams of emulsifying wax. All right, there is our heated oil phase, and you can see my pot here is simmering. I'm going to turn it down a little now, and we're going to stick this in our double boiler and let it melt. All right, now we're going to measure out the water phase of our eye cream, and today I'm going to do distilled water. You could use a combination of aloe vera juice and distilled water. You could do all aloe vera juice in this, but today I'm doing distilled water, and I need 60 grams of distilled water. All right, and the next ingredient is I'm going to do 2 grams of vegetable glycerin. This is optional. I like it in there. It really gives a nice emollient, humectant factor to this cream. So I'm going to do 2 grams. It's such a tiny amount. But you could omit this if you don't want it in there. Let me tear this out. All right, this is our water phase, and so let me pull this back over. The oils are almost all the way melted. I'm going to put this in here to warm it up. I want this almost to a simmer, a good simmer, and I want that melted. I want them the same temperature. So I'm going to let them sit in there and do their thing, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back. I just pulled these off the double boiler, and I'm going to let them sit here for just a minute before we do that, because I wanted to show you a couple of things. This is a very tiny batch. I'm making a micro batch today, and my full-size stick blender it might fit in here, but oh my, that would make a big mess. And let me show you. I got this on Amazon. I almost hesitated to show you because they have been sold out of these for the longest time, but it is a plug-in whisk blender. It does have a little whisk attachment, but I like this for Bath and Body, but it is super strong motor. So if you have a shallow container, it'll just fling stuff everywhere. If I can find a link for this, if it's in stock, I'll leave it down below. And I got this a long time ago on Amazon for a coffee frother extra in my kitchen, and I never used it, so I brought it down here to the soap room. So it has the little frother here, but this little thing I think is going to be perfect for today. See that? Now the only thing is you have to touch it to make it go the speed you want. It's got a learning curve to it, and it uses batteries, but I think this is a perfect little blender here today. So I'm going to give this a try, and again, if I can find a link for this or something similar to it, I will leave it in the description box down below. So right now we've got to add our heated water phase to our heated oil phase, and that's where the magic happens and it turns into a lotiony thing, which I love. Let me see, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little try and get this emulsed. There, that works pretty nice. So we're just cooling down now, and then we have our cool down phase ingredients to add to this. I'm gonna be using Optifen for a preservative today, and you cannot add that under 100 or over 170, I think, 180 or 170 degrees. So whatever preservative you're using in this formula, because you do have to use a preservative because it has the water phase in there, just check up the usage rates and the temperature rate on your preservative, because some of them are heat sensitive. All right, we're already down to 113, so let's get on to our cool down phase here. Get my scale on, get it tared out, and let's move on to the next ingredient. So here's the star ingredient today. It's our caffeine extract caffeine extract solution. It's a water solution, and this has a water phase, so it's soluble in here. I'm going to be adding this at a rate of 1% per volume, and this is a 94 gram recipe, so 0.9 grams. I'm going to round it up to 1 gram because 0.9 is pretty specific. If I can hit that, great. If not, we'll do 1 gram, which is 1 milliliter. So I have my little pipette here, and they have marks on them. There's a 1 milliliter pipette, and that will help me get close to what I'm going for here. All right, we've got 1 gram of the caffeine extract in there, and now I need 1 gram of vitamin E oil. This is not a preservative, but it is an antioxidant. It will help extend the life of the oils in there, plus vitamin E is good for your skin. So let me tear this out, and we will do 1 gram of vitamin E oil. All right, here's my Optifen. I'm going to do 1 gram of Optifen. Optifen has a usage rate in lotions from 0.5% to 1.5%. I'm going to do about 1%. So, and I will use my little pipette here to get the right amount. All right. And last but not least, my lavender essential oil. And again, 1% is what I'm doing in here because this is going around my eyes. If this was a body lotion, you could go up to 2%, but because I'm doing this for that very delicate area around the eyes, I'm going to do 1% lavender essential oil. All right, there it is. That's everything. Now it's just a matter of cooling it down. I'm going to whisk all those ingredients in. Let's see here. There we go. Get it on low. I'm going to whisk these in and let this cool down, and we will come back and whisk it as it's cooling until it is completely cooled before we jar it up. All right, let's give this a final whipping with my little whisk thing, which is working great. I'm so happy with this down here. I'm going to keep it in my soap room from now on. Let's see. 1 click, 2, 3. There we go. Fluff this up. So this is very thick and creamy, but it's not like a whip or a body butter. It's definitely lotiony. All right, like the peaks on here are not holding. It's definitely lotiony. I can pour this. Let's take the temperature and see where we're at. 80 degrees, so that's warm. It's warmer than my room. My room down here is about 65, 67 degrees, but it's going to be perfect to jar up. Let's talk about the jars that I'm going to put this in, some ideas for you. But again, let's talk about, so this is a pourable lotion, a very thick cream lotion. If you wanted to make it a little thicker, you could reduce the water amount in here. You could up the e-wax by just a couple of grams and reduce the water by, you know, down to 50 or 40 grams, and that would make this a more creamy, but I wanted this very light, quickly absorbing, so I actually love the pourable consistency. So let's see, today, let me show you what I've got here. I've got my little jars off to the side. I'm going to be using, these are little 30-gram containers I got on Amazon. I'll leave a link down below. They have bamboo lids and frosted glass. I think they are adorable for a product like this. Is perfect. And they come with a little sanitary seal on there with a tab. I love it. So after you put your product in, you put that on, put your lid on, you're good to go. I love it. So let's go ahead and fill these up. And you can see it's a nice thick cream as I pour it. There we go. And that 1% lavender in here, it's wonderful. It's not like hit you in the face lavender, it's just like an essence. It's beautiful. It's so light and perfect, and I'm going to be so happy to use this on my face. It is all jarred up. It's time to lid up my containers here, and I will give you a little product demo. And there we go. And because this is emulsified lotion, you could ship this in the summertime. It's not going to be affected by the heat. It's going to be totally fine. I think these little containers are perfect. This is just a nice size for an eye cream because you want to be able to use it up in a timely fashion. So because I am going to be gifting these, I'm not going to do labels on here, but if you were going to label these, a 2-inch round fits the lid on this size jar. For the link I'll leave down below. That's what, when I did label these, I use a 2-inch and it fits perfectly on top. When you label lotion, you need the name of what the product is, give it a name, and any pertinent information, like this has caffeine in there. And then you want to list the ingredients in descending order from greatest to least, and give the amount of weight, not the jar though. You have to weigh how much you're putting in the jar. The amount of the product in the jar in grams and ounces is always nice to do both. So that's how you would label these properly. But right now I'm just so anxious to give this a try. So let me see here. You can see it's very thick, but it'll run off the spatula, but it'll hold on. So it's a nice kind of cream lotion there. It's not dripping down my hand. It's got a little bit of substance to it, but it's so light, and I'm very anxious to try this. So I wish I could have you try it with me. It absorbs really quickly into the skin, but it feels really soft. It has a little bit of butter feel to it, which I like. Again, I'm going to be putting this around my eyes, so I like that sort of moisturized feel. It definitely feels moisturizing. It sinks right in, and that lavender is not overwhelming. It's very gentle at 1%. I really like that for face creams and lotions, either no scent or super light. Gosh, this feels great. It's already fully absorbed into my skin. I think this is fantastic. I'm so anxious to use this. And the caffeine, again, has a little bit of pore tightening. It sort of restricts the blood vessels, so any redness, puffiness, the caffeine should help kind of tighten all that up. That's the theory behind using caffeinated body products. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe, and I hope you give it a try. If you do try it, let me know how you like it. I'd love to hear back from you. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.